right, welcome to recap week 11. Second to the last recap. We got one more week. Boy, playoff picture starting to take shape. We're going to kick it off with the playoff hopes going down the drains with Sherman's March versus Dig My Bucker. Oh, this was a heartbreaker, big heartbreaker. Dig My Bucker takes Sherman's March down 121 to 103.8. Dig My Bucker, let's see, Mike Evans, cheap touchdown there with the fumble, but he got some real ones too, 27 points. Stephon Diggs, big play there on Sunday night, 25.1 points. Not much to speak of. Dak Prescott, 14.8, but 121 points is going to do it when they play Sherman's March. It was projected one time to get high score here, but going into them late games, oh man, laid an egg, big egg with those Eagles. Leonard Fournette, 21.1 points. T.Y. Hilton, 32. He was a stud, double digits. Hopkins, but man, that late game, Carson Wentz, 0.8 points. That was a big heartbreaker. Zach Ertz, 2.5. Just not going to do it. I believe my playoff hopes are down the drain. Let's see. Dig My Bucker, though, 5 and 6. I believe their playoff hopes are alive. So they're going to face All Day Abusement Park in Week 12, who is 6 and 5. Sherman's March is going to maybe play spoiler for a bye against Belichick's Hoodies. They are 8 and 3. All right, moving on. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood versus G5 Big Dick Players. Both these teams needing to win. Only one can pull it out, and it was G5. 144.8 points versus Mr. Rogers' 110. G5 stud players here. Barclay, 34.2 points. Aaron Jones, 24.8. Antonio Brown, ooh, what a trade that was, 20.2. Double digits out of Russell Wilson. Robert Woods, 144 points. Pretty much going to do it. Anybody they were playing this week except for one other team, I believe. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Aaron Rodgers, 21.6. Mark Ingram, 22.3. 0 points out of the Chargers D. That hurts. Underperformers in Ridley, Lockett, Hooper, 110 points on a must-needed win. Not going to do it there for Coach Doug. So G5, 5 and 6 now, are going to face PB&J, 8 and 3. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, 5 and 6, going to face Jess Blessum, who is 4 and 7, who I also believe might be out of the playoff hunt. So going on to Jess Blessum against Belichick's Hoodies. Jess Blessum needed a win. They didn't get it. Belichick's Hoodies, listen, they looked like they were going to be high score too. They got 116.7. Their team kind of laid an egg late, but they were playing Coach Ron's 107. Belichick's Hoodies, Alvin Kamara, 17.3. Johnson, 16.7. Michael Thomas, 17.2. But really underperformers down the board here. 116 points for Belichick's Hoodies. Jess Blessum, Phillip Rivers, 19.6. Keenan Allen, 19.5. It's a pattern there. Bears D, they look to be the defense of 2018, 16 points. But Sterling Shepard, 3.2. Evan Ingram, 7.6. I guess unless you got Barclay, you really shouldn't be playing Giants players. So the loss brings Jess Blessum to 4 and 7. They're going to face Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, who is 5 and 6. Belichick's Hoodies moves to 8 and 3. They're going to face me in the final Week 12, who is 4 and 7. Okay, high score of the week game here. PB&J versus the Bird's Nest. Two red-hot teams. Only one can come out the victor, and it was PB&J by far. 164.5 points. That may be a top score for the year, folks. Jared Goff, oh man, that game last night, no defense at all. 35.1 points. Zeke on Sunday, 29.6. Devontae Adams, I believe that was a Thursday game, 21.6. And then Tyreek Hill last night, 38.5. 164.5 points. $100 a week high score. Plus PB&J last week got the $25 gift card. They got the wheel and the victory. The Bird's Nest, 109 points. Let's see, where do I start here? Melvin Gordon, 18.6. Julio Jones, 20.8. Underperformers there in Theo Riddick, but they did get double digits out of Thielen. O.J. Howard, Fitz got, I believe, 2 touchdowns, 15.3 points out of Fitz. Just not going to do it with 109 points. So the 8 and 3 PB&J will face the 5 and 6 G5 in Week 12. that's going to be either a playoff spot for G5 or not. The Bird's Nest 8-3 are going to face the not so red hot Pottstown Rat Bastards. Speak of the Devils themselves. Pottstown Rat Bastards versus Adrian's All Day Abusement Park. Adrian takes them down 137 to 91.5. Coach Tim had 24.5 points out of Cam Newton. Kelsey last night 23.7. Galladay 21.3. Double digits out of Peterson. Juju, the only underperformer was Cooper there in Dallas. Doesn't seem to be fitting in too well. 15 points out of the Saints D. Where do I start with Pottstown? Mahomes last night 35.9, but Dalvin Cook 0.5 points. Chris Carson was 12.3, double digits out of Jared Cook. Prater got 10 points. But 91.5 is going to bring a loss to the Pottstown Rat Bastards. So that moves them to 2-9. They are going to face the Bird's Nest 8-3 in week 12. Adrian's All Day Abusement Park 6-5. They're going to face Dig My Bucker, who's 5-6 in week 12. That's probably going to be a playoff berth game. All right, so let's move on to the standings because this is where it's going to get a little tricky. You guys got to look at points for, points against, that kind of crap. That's going to tell you tiebreakers. So we now have a quasi three-way tie in first place, and I mean quasi because you're going to have somebody who's going to have the points for. So PB&J, the Bird's Nest, and Belichick's Hoodies are all 8-3. But right now, PB&J and the Bird's Nest would get the bye because of the points. But week 12, this is going to determine a bye week. So we move on to sole possession of what we'll call second place, but it's really going to be that fourth place spot is Adrian All Day Abusement Park. They are 6-5. They're the only 6-5 team. So this is where it's going to get a little tricky. I believe, don't quote me on this, that they should secure a playoff berth because we have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, G5, and Dig My Bucker are all 5-6. But with those points, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood has that sole possession there of that 5-6, and then G5, and then Dig My Bucker. Then we have Jess Bessem, Sherman's March, and Pottstown Rat Bastards. And for all intents and purposes, if we're out, it's going to be that who's going to lose next week and possibly get knocked out of a playoff berth. So you can go to the website. You can see all this. It's not sure it's going to be, actually, I know it's not going to be week 12 of last year. Week 12 of last year was insane. I think everybody was in it. So right now we're going to be fighting for bye weeks. We're going to be fighting for that final playoff spot. So we'll do one more recap. Don't think I'm going to have postseason recaps. What I'll try to do next week is I'll try to segregate some time here so we can break it down. ESPN will match you up, but it's based on your records. So congratulations, or so far congratulations to a few guys that have locked up the playoff spot. All right, the gift card. So G5 got the wheel last week and got the victory. So he now gets a $25 gift card. These are the actual gift cards. So we got 2 more weeks where you could possibly win that. We got 1 more week for the high score. Don't forget, after week 12, guys that are in the not in the playoffs, don't pick anybody up. You're out of it. There's nothing to gain. We'll get some more details next week on that. All right, let's go to the wheel. Let's see here. I'm also going to say, if you've won and gotten a gift card, I'm going to respin. Give everybody a chance. So here we go. Round and round we go. Where it stops, nobody knows. Oh, my God, it couldn't get any closer than that, but it is Adrian's All Day Abusement Park. So, Coach Tim, you get a win next week. Not only could it be a playoff, but it could also be a $25 Applebee's gift card. I know that means more to you. All right, listen, folks, hope everybody's having fun. Even though I'm out of the playoffs, I'm still having fun. Come back. I'll get this uploaded tonight, get it to YouTube, come back to you next Tuesday. Playoff picture will be set. Congratulations again that have locked in the spots, and good luck to the ones that are fighting for it. All right, folks, have a good night. We'll see you next week.